Welcome back, you guys. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I think I may have done one of these in the past. It could have just been in my head though. Who really knows? But today we are going to be doing a speed review video. So I mentioned a couple of times on my TikTok, I am very poorly trying out some makeup, not necessarily new makeup. Some of it is brand new. Some of it is just stuff that like I am discovering for the first time. Some of it is just recommendations, etc. And I have like a drawer that's overflowing filled with new makeup that I'm trying out. As I try it out, I put it in this cute little bin, okay? And then I kind of continue to test it, and then I plan on making speed review videos. So this is just kind of for the stuff that I'm not using all of the time, hasn't been in a Shop My Stash yet, but it's just a bunch of like random reviews. I love watching speed review videos because I feel like it's so much good information, right? And it's normally pretty quick paced, which I also enjoy. So this has been like a couple of weeks worth of stuff that I've tried out on TikTok, and you guys, I don't fully understand how TikTok works. Like, I don't know why my lighting is always off. I don't know why it's always so yellow, and I've tried so many different forms of lighting, and like even in like Insta stories and stuff, it doesn't come across that way. I don't know what TikTok does to your images, but it's very odd, and I'm not personally a fan. I'm not 100% sure, but either way, I am sticking with it, and I'm getting some good feedback. I'm not viral or anything, so it's slow goings, but honestly I'm having fun because it's giving me a reason to like try new stuff instead of shoving it in a drawer and forgetting about it, and that has been really helping me. And now I can make speed review videos, which I've always wanted to do, but I don't try new stuff all the time because I tend to stick within my Shop My Stash realm. This is just kind of fun, and this also helps break up the Shop My Stash so I don't get like overly bored of the products, because I can introduce, you know, and my only concern now is how often do I film these? Because I want to make sure I have enough products to talk about, but I also don't want to neglect the Shop My Stash products. So I'm thinking about doing like one every two-ish months, every month or so, every two-ish months. So leave me your recommendations in the comments down below, and make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you like these types of videos so that I know to keep making them and that this is not just like a giant waste of everyone's time. But we are going to get started here. I'm going to leave everything linked down below, and this is literally a complete mix of brand new makeup, some stuff that I'm retrying, some stuff that I've picked up from like TJ Maxx. I mean, it's a good mix, okay? And some makeup that I've been sitting on for a while that I just haven't tried out. So let's start. Is this all makeup? Yeah, it's all makeup this time. And I plan on doing other products in here too, but it will be primarily makeup. So let's start with face. I guess that makes sense. So let me pull out face products. So much of this is face. Okay, this is, all right. And then this is like, I'm not going in any particular order. I'm just gonna kind of try to make it flow nicely, but depending on what products I have in each speed review video, it'll go in different orders. Anyways, okay, foundation. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Luminous Foundation. I have used this foundation before. This is in the shade 210N. I've used this foundation before, and I ended up decluttering it because the pump sucked. And also the shade was not right for me. So this time I ended up picking up a different shade. I don't remember why, but I ended up picking up a different shade, which is the 210N. And I figured I'd give it another shot. The pump still sucks, but this foundation is beautiful. Like, it really does give your skin this luminous look to it. And I really enjoy the foundation. However, again, this shade, far too yellow for me. Now, today, the day that I'm filming this, is the day that Boxy Choice went up and the drop shop went up. And they actually had this foundation in the drop shop. Or was it a choice for next month? I don't know. Either way, I ended up getting the lightest shade, and I'm gonna see if I can mix the two. I think it was the choice. But I'm gonna see if I can mix the two and kind of make a shade that actually works, because the lightest shade I believe is a neutral shade. But this is also neutral, and it's just too yellow. I don't know. You guys, I have no freaking clue why I struggle so much with this foundation, but I love the way it looks on my skin. So I want to make it work, but if mixing this one and the lightest shade they have doesn't work, I think I'm done. I have an LA Girl foundation mixer pigment in white, and I might try that, but I don't know. This is a beautiful foundation. It lasts so well on the skin. It does not cling to dry patches. I constantly have dry patches right here. I'm using the UOMA foundation today, and I love that foundation. It makes my skin look so great, and I love it. But even so, it still kind of clings to the dry patch that's right here. This one it doesn't. It looks so nice on the skin. I don't like the pump, and the shade range in this is very confusing to me, and I don't like, even looking at there's so many shades, but even looking at the chart, I've gone to the store and gotten color matched for this foundation and it was still wrong. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this, which is crazy to me because this is literally my second bottle and I just bought a third and I still don't quite know how I feel about it. But if you've tried this, let me know. Let me know what you guys think, because this one is baffling to me. I did try a couple of Kosas products that I am so beyond excited about. This went viral on TikTok. This is the Cloud Set in Breezy. This is like a baked powder, and it went viral because there was this girl on TikTok who posted a video where she had put it on and it like completely obliterated her pores. Obviously it does not do that, it is not magic, but this makes your skin look so nice. It really does give you that beautiful like airbrushed effect. I love this. I've used this several times since I've gotten it because it's been such a pretty finish on my skin. I do highly recommend this. That I definitely think it is worth the hype. But then I ended up getting the Kosas Revealer Super Creamy and Brightening Concealer. This is an 01N, and honestly the two of these combined, the finish on the skin, you guys, it is so beautiful. This is a really nice creamy concealer. I love the applicator because it's nice and thin and it's flexible, so you can kind of get it to where you want it to go. But seriously, these two combined are some of my new favorite products, and I have been using these so much over the last couple of weeks under the vein of testing them out, but they are just so good. I did also try out the Anastasia Beverly Hills Magic Touch Concealer, finally. I know I'm way late to the party on this, but this is in the shade 2. I do like this. The brush is massive. Like the wand, I don't know why I called it a brush, but it is massive. And this formula is very thick, and a little goes a long way. The first time I used this, I put on way too much. Like I put on my normal amount of concealer and it covered almost my entire face. Like a little goes a long way, and this tube is a pretty good size, so I feel like it would definitely last a while. I do like this. I feel like if I hadn't tried this one around the same time, I would have liked this a lot more. I do enjoy it, but this one is so much better. The Kosas, this is good. So if you've been considering picking it up, not a bad idea, but the Kosas one, so much better. I tried 3 cream blushes, okay, and oh, do I have opinions. The Melt Honey Thief Cream Blushlight. This is gorgeous. It's a pretty light shade on my skin, which surprised me, but it blends out beautifully. It does blend out to like a really sheer color, which I actually kind of liked. Now, when in the name Blushlight, I expected it to be a little bit more of like a highlight shade, and I don't personally see that, I guess, but it is a beautiful cream blush shade, you guys. Like, it is so gorgeous. That's kind of a half-ass blended job, but you get the gist of it, right? But I love this. Oh my goodness. I've been really getting into like Melt Cosmetics lately, and everything that I've tried from them thus far has been amazing, so I'm liking that. I also tried, the Bite Beauty. This is the Daycation Whipped Blush in Melon Mojito. First of all, this packaging is atrocious. It's so bad. And you have to like squeeze, but because of the way the packaging is, you end up squeezing out way too much. The shade is really pretty. The blush is really pretty. It does blend very well, but this packaging, no, absolutely not. Like, I was so excited to try these out, and I only purchased one shade to begin with, and I won't be purchasing anymore because this packaging is such a pain to use, and I don't understand. It's cute, and I love the fact, like, it's so cute, but it's such a pain to use. I'm not a big fan of that. And I really wish, because the blush itself is good, but it gets so, like, the good of the blush gets so overshadowed by the poorness of the packaging. And the packaging really does just completely ruin it for me. And then I was in Ulta one day, and I was just walking around, looking around, and I came across this, and I have not heard a single peep about these anywhere. This is the Too Faced Peach Bloom Color Blossoming Lip and Cheek Tint. I don't know if I completely missed the boat on these, or if just really no one has been talking about them, but I got mine. I picked a shade up. I got mine in the shade Strawberry Glow. I'm so torn on if I actually like these or not. So it's very interesting. It's almost like a water gel tint. And it literally, like, you've got the wand applicator, it goes on like that. It goes into this, like, you know the popsicle lips look? It's almost like that, but like on your cheeks. I use this as a cream blush. It does say a lip and cheek tint, so you could also use it. And as a tint, that does make sense. It's a little odd to use. And the first time I used it, I was like, I don't really know how I feel about that. But I used it several times after that, obviously, because if I'm giving you speed reviews, I'm not just going to use it once and then tell you what I think. The whole point is to use it numerous times. I've used this numerous times now. And the first time, I was a little taken aback and I was a little bit not really feeling it. But in using it multiple times, I actually kind of like it. I feel like not for my personal everyday looks, because I tend to do like the full coverage type of looks. But on days that I'm using a lighter base, that I'm doing lighter makeup, this is actually pretty nice. It is a little finicky to work with. It's definitely not my favorite. I probably won't be purchasing other shades, but it's definitely not as bad as I originally thought it was, if that makes sense. I feel like if you like the popsicle lip looks, if you like the pastel-y, like that's the vibe that I get from this, you might enjoy this, but I would wait for a sale. Because it's definitely got, like, it's a niche product. So, I don't really know. I like it, but, like, I wouldn't rush out and buy more shades. Like, this is good for me. And I haven't heard anything about it, so I don't know why that is. I was so excited about this. I was at TJ Maxx a few days ago, and I did a haul video. And this is one of the things that I picked up. The CoverGirl Peach Punch Blush. It's peach scented. This was at TJ Maxx for $2.99. I went to 2 different TJ Maxx's and a Marshall's, and they all had this, plus a larger face palette. So if you're interested, they should still have it. I don't know what collection this was from. I don't know where, like, I don't normally follow up with, like, CoverGirl releases, and I feel like I should now. I love this. It smells like peach, just like the Too Faced stuff does. Oh, it's so good. I just don't know how like old this collection is. I don't know if it's still selling in drugstores, but the shade of this is so beautiful. Papa Don't Peach from Too Faced. I love that blush. But I always feel like it's a little bit lacking, and I can't even tell you why. Like, it is a nice, solid blush. But this is exactly what I wish Papa Don't Peach was. And I almost, let me get Papa Don't Peach for comparison's sake here. Papa Don't Peach is a different tone, right? And I feel like there's a small bit of shimmer in there. There might, well, maybe in both. I don't know. This is what I wish Papa Don't Peach was. So honestly, if I was looking for a peach tone blush, I'd go with this one. Like, this would be the one that I would pick out. And I'll show you how they look side by side. Okay, that's my issue right there. So this one is Papa Don't Peach by Too Faced. This is the peach scented from CoverGirl. The Papa Don't Peach is more shimmery, right? It's more like highlighty. And this one is more of like a true peach blush from CoverGirl. And I definitely, I like the CoverGirl one better. Like, the Papa Don't Peach is great, but the CoverGirl one is just better, in my personal opinion, for my shade ranges. Okay, I talked about this one in a purchase or pass, the Jaclyn Hill Holiday Collection. I had wanted like the whole collection. No, I didn't. I wanted bits and pieces of it. I debated buying the whole collection, and I did not. I bought an eye glaze thing that's a little iffy, and then I bought the Winter Sun face palette. This has 3 shades, 2 highlights, and a blush. I will say I really like this palette. This is pretty beautiful. The shades blend into the skin wonderfully. I like the fact that with this blush shade, you know, you can do a little bit of like a darker look or a little bit of like a brighter, lighter look. I like the fact that it's got both of those highlights in there with the blush. I do question why there was not a bronzer put in here, because normally with a palette like this, you have a blush, bronzer, and a highlight. I wondered if this was supposed to be a bronzer, but like it's definitely not. But this is a really nice palette actually. I do prefer this over the eye glaze. I don't even know if this collection is still available anymore. It's not available on the Ulta website. I just wanted to let you guys know this one was actually pretty good. And I feel like in the future, and this is why I don't mind talking about like discontinued products, because even if you can't get them, you know now. In the future, if she comes out with another face palette and it's something that you were thinking about, the quality is actually pretty good with these. Obviously, it's still a chance that the next one won't be as good, but it's always, in my personal opinion, it's always good to look at what they've done in the past. So like, for example, with Too Faced, the holiday collections, the palettes that they make specifically for the Christmas collections, those big ones that come in different sets, those, in my experience and from seeing reviews, have never been the greatest. So I just don't buy those anymore because I have the expectation that they won't be the greatest, especially compared to the regular Too Faced quality. So even if something is discontinued, I'm not necessarily going to stop talking about it because I do feel like it's good to know for future reference. Plus, if you have this, you will see this at some point on my channel because I really did enjoy it. This is the Fenty Beauty Killawatt Freestyle Highlighter in Metal Moon. I don't remember where I got this one from, but I tried it. You guys, I'm pretty sure it came in like a BoxyCharm or something. I don't know. This is so pretty. It looks so white. This is seriously such an icy shade, and it's swatching it doesn't even give it just like you really have to get in there. It's such a beautiful like icy shade of highlight though. I really love the Fenty Beauty products, but for my skin tone, a lot of the shades that she does are just too dark, and this one, perfect. If you are lighter skinned and you like that icy see you from space highlight, this is a beautiful one. It is gorgeous. I was so blown away by how much I ended up liking this one, and the formula of these highlights are pretty good. This one I will say is a little bit more powdery than the other ones that I have, and it's also, I mean, like, but normally you can kind of see a shimmer, and this one is a little bit, the formulation, the finish is a little bit different. So I do like this one. It is a little bit different than the other highlights that I have, but the formula of the highlights is a really good formula. That makes sense. My last face product, I'm so confused about this one. I really don't know. So I have a Colourpop setting spray. I bought this one and then I ended up buying a different one too because they're just like pumping out setting sprays lately. But this one is the No Filter Setting Mist. This is the one that I most recently tried. I mentioned this in the TikTok of me talking about this. There's something like at the bottom, and in the TikTok it was like straight down the middle, and it won't shake into the product. I don't know what that is. Does anyone know what that is? I don't know if it's safe to use. It's a nice mist. It does have a scent to it. I'm not the biggest fan of the scent, but it is more of like a fresh scent, I guess. But that, whatever that is at the bottom, it really freaks me out. And I don't know what it is. So if you know, will you please let me know? It concerns me. I mean, like, this is a fine setting spray. I've used it a few times. It's not bad, but that makes me a little nervous. That scent does linger though. Talk about some eye products. I tried the Colourpop Party Proof Eye Primer. I know a lot of people like use this almost exclusively. Like, this was a pretty popular eye primer. And so I figured I'd give it a shot. And I actually quite like it. It's a very nice formula. It reminds me almost of like the Urban Decay Primer Potion mixed with the Too Faced Shadow Insurance, if that makes sense. It's a thicker formula, but it blends out really nicely, and it almost like seems to smooth my eyelids. I really did like this. It didn't have any ill effect with like any of the eyeshadows that I put on top of it. It did help them last all day. It didn't have any creasing. Like, this was just a stand-up eyelid primer, and I was really surprised by that. It seems to have pretty good reviews based on what I've seen, but I haven't like looked up reviews or anything. But this actually worked out pretty nicely, and I don't know what I was expecting, but it is like high-end quality for a much more affordable price, and I can definitely get on board with that. I used some brow stuff. Again, you guys, I literally just placed an order at Cosis and decided to try out a bunch of stuff as I was getting more Cosis and subscription boxes, but I've tried out a bunch of Cosis stuff now, and I've loved everything. So I tried out the Brow Pop Dual Action Defining Pencil and then Airbrow. Now, I have Airbrow, but it's a tinted one. This one is just the clear one. So this Brow Pop pencil, you have a spoolie on one end, and I'm sorry, the packaging. The packaging, so cute. You have a spoolie on one end. This is an angled pencil, and I've always said that I prefer the micro pencils, but honestly, these angled pencils are growing on me. I feel like that's how a lot of the pencils are coming now, and so I've been using more and more and more, and the more that I've used them, I feel like the more I like them, but it just goes on so nicely, and it's a good, like, width, I think. It makes really pretty brows. And then the brow gel, the Airbrow, I've used the tinted one and I really liked that one. And honestly, the clear one too, like everything about this, the spoolie is a good size. It doesn't get clumpy. It just glides over really nicely and you can kind of maneuver your brows how you want them. And this combination, I fell in love with. I use this combination a lot over the last couple of weeks and it is so good. And then I also tried out the Colourpop Feather Effect Brow Pen. Now, I don't do feather brows, obviously, but they are very trendy right now, and so I ended up purchasing a bunch of soap brow and feather brow products because I love the way that it looks. And this is the first one that I've tried out, with the exception of like the ABH Brow Freeze. I have tried that, but this is the first like kind of feather pen that I've tried. It's definitely a learning curve. This one is the Colourpop one though. It's so thin. Now I did get a couple of other ones to kind of compare against this that I have not tried yet. I've got like the ABH one and something else. But this one, definitely a learning curve. I loved the way my brows looked when I used this though. It was so light, and I normally do very dark, almost blocky brows, and that's what I personally like for brows. And so it was a little bit jarring to kind of see this lighter, fluffier feather brow on me, because that's not what I'm used to. But I actually really enjoyed how it looked. Like, I think it looked really great. And so I definitely think I'm going to start playing around with feather brows and soap brows a little bit more. So I have a bunch of stuff to try out with it. But this one, it kind of made me a believer a little bit. It's really easy to work with. It's really nice. I liked it. And then I have a couple of liners. The Bite Beauty Upswing Extreme Longwear Liquid Eyeliner. Okay, first of all, the Upswing mascara, no go. Not for me. I hated it. Second of all, this one is one of those where it's got the handle and then the kind of tip at the top here. I love these, except for the Juvia's Place one. The Juvia's Place one was too wet for me, and I couldn't get it. I could not get that one to work. But typically, I love this type of packaging, and this, one of my favorite eyeliners ever. The tip is so thin that you really can get it exactly where you want to, and it dries down really quickly. So there's no smudging, there's no smearing, there's no streaking. This is one of my favorite eyeliners at this point, and I have literally been using this so much lately, and I can't stop. Like, it's so good. I highly, highly recommend this one. Like I said, the Upswing mascara, I bought them both at the same time, was a no-go for me, but the liner is stellar. It's so good. I also got this in a recent BoxyCharm, so I figured I'd talk about it. This is a Chella Dual Liquid Eyeliner Pearl. So there's a black shade and a blue shade. The blue shade is more of like a sky blue, and it's not the opacest of blues. So I did use this for a look one day, and I did not really, I kind of liked how it turned out, but my shaping was a little off, which that's not the fault of the eyeliner. It's pretty. It is a pretty blue. The black shade though is actually really nice, and it's opaque, and it's like a one swipe thing and you're done. I do like the dual liquid liner aspect of this, and I feel like I do like using colored liquid liner, but I never do because I always just end up grabbing like a black or a brown liquid eyeliner and then using that. And the fact that this has a color on the end of it definitely makes me want to use the blue one more. So this was interesting to me. The formula is pretty good. The eyeliner is pretty good. The blue one, like I said, you can do it really sheer, which is how it comes out, or you can kind of build it up to be opaque. And the liner itself, it's good. This is surprising. Like I said, this is a BoxyCharm find. I got it in a box at one point, or Ipsy. Oh my goodness. It was one of the two. But it worked out really well actually, and I was pleasantly surprised. I also tried the Ulta Beauty Gel Eyeliner. This one was, I bought like a set of Ulta eyeliners to try out, and this one is not super dark, right? Like, it's a very like light black shade. It almost looks gray a little bit, and it's very movable. If you're looking for a liner to smudge, this is the liner, but it does not stay in place the greatest. Like, if you put it down, you want this if you want to smudge your eyeliner out, because this is definitely where it has the best results. It's a good liner so long as you're smudging your eyeliner out. All right, I have a couple of lip products here too. I just talked about this in my Ulta 21 Days of Beauty like walkthrough and recommendations and wish list and everything. The Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lips. I have 4 shades. I think I might have 5. I don't know. But here we've got Petal, Wild Berry, Orchid, and Rose. They're all very pretty light. Wild Berry, I think, is like the darkest shade. And here's the thing. I do like these. And I mean, honestly, if you've seen my Ulta 21 Days of Beauty, then you've already seen me talk about these. I do like these. I won't purchase any more. I'm not a lip gloss person, and this really is like a gloss balm. So you kind of push it, and it comes out like a balm, but then when you put it on, it comes out like a gloss, and then it gets all squished around the tip, which I really don't like. I feel like if you like lip gloss a lot, This is a really convenient way to carry it and apply it throughout the day. Like, this is great. I like it on top of lipsticks and things like that, but I don't think buy these on like a regular basis or even use them on a regular basis because I'm just not this type of lip product girl. I don't think that there's anything wrong with these. I mean, they are really nice actually, and I feel like if I liked lip glosses, I would enjoy these a lot more. They're just not for me personally, but I will use the ones that I have. I just won't buy any more. Does that make sense? I like them. I don't love them. I have two lipsticks that I've tried. One was the Too Faced, this is the Lady Bold Pigment Lipstick in the shade Takeover. Now I bought two of these. I bought Takeover and then I bought a second shade, and I have not tried the second shade yet. However, this shade is beautiful. Takeover is a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous shade. Look at that. But I wore this a few times, and every time I wore this, I noticed that it would fade very patchy. Like, it looked terrible after 2 to 3 hours. It looked so bad. So that kind of concerns me. I still have another shade that I want to try because I'm wondering if that's just because of how dark this shade is. Because obviously when you get darker shades like this, they wear a little bit differently. But I'm not super convinced about this formula. This particular shade, Takeover, I don't recommend because it fades super patchy. And it fades super, like, quickly too. I expected, and even like putting something over top of this doesn't really seem to help. So like I said, I do have a second shade. I'm gonna try out the second shade, but this one in particular, I'm not a big fan of. And then I also tried the Bite Beauty Power Move Soft Matte Lipstick in Chai. I have a few of these, and I'm pretty sure this is like their new formula. And it's interesting because this one feels almost a little bit drier, and the swatch sucks. Like, the swatch really does suck, and I don't know why it always looks like that, but it's almost like a creamy powder. It's so weird. However, formula-wise, I much prefer the Bite Beauty Power Move. Okay, this shade, gorgeous. And I feel like these tend to kind of fade much more evenly, and I didn't have the same issues with this that I had with the Too Faced Lady Bold. I much prefer this line, but like I said, I still have another shade of the Lady Bold to try. I don't really know how much the formula will vary in between shades though, so I mean, ignore that. I'll keep you guys updated in a future speed reviews, but this one so far is definitely, in my personal opinion, the better one. And finally, the last product of the day. Picked up a Fenty Beauty. This is a Gloss Bomb in Cheeky. My issue is this packaging doesn't fit in my storage anymore, and that annoys me. Here's the thing though. I, as a non-lip gloss lover, was recommended these glosses. And if you don't like lip gloss, if you don't like the feeling, or if you're just not like into lip gloss, but you like the shine, these are amazing. I don't know what it is, but it genuinely, I have so many of these now, and I actually wear them on like a pretty regular basis. This one is a beautiful shade. It's kind of like this orangish red with some gold shimmer in it. So pretty. I love wearing these over lipsticks, even by themselves though. I'm cool with it. These are not sticky, and I know that like so many people are like, oh, this lip, you know, like lip glosses are always sticky. These are like the least sticky lip glosses I've ever seen in my life. They're amazing. They're so comfortable on the lips. I have some lip glosses, and I very rarely wear them because I'm not a lip gloss person, but these, my most worn. I'm using one, it's my favorite shade, and I'm almost out of it. I've almost used up an entire lip gloss. I don't think I've ever done that in my entire life. So if you are looking for a lip gloss as a non-lip gloss lover, get the Gloss Bombs from Fenty. You won't regret it. They are amazing. They are like viral lip glosses. They're so good. Those are my speed reviews for today. I liked doing this. In all seriousness, I think it's fun to sit down. I really like talking about multiple products at once. And I do have some like get ready with me's and try-ons and things like that coming up, but I don't necessarily want to always do that. I might in the future do like a full face of speed reviews if that's something that you guys would be interested in. I'm still kind of playing around with that idea, but I really do like doing speed reviews and just sitting down and giving a lot of opinions about products all at once, because I feel like it's a good way to just learn about a lot quickly. You know what I mean? I love watching speed reviews. So please make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. So let me know in the comments down below if you'd like me to continue doing these and if this was helpful or informative to you. And make sure you hit that bigger subscribe button below me if you'd like to see more of me. But I do hope you guys enjoyed this. Also in the comments down below, let me know what your current favorite and least favorite product is. Your own little speed reviews. Because like I said, I love speed reviews. Thank you guys so much for joining me here today. I will catch you all next time. Have a great one. Bye.